G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Game. It is a pleasure to have your company today as we witness two of the world's best players, top players right now, who are preparing for the new EGC TV tournament. You know what's going to be happening soon. Let's get into it. We've got a great game for you today, I'm sure. Anyway, spawning in on the south side of the map in the color green, playing as the English core. And on the north side of the map in the color purple, playing as the Rus Divine DFP. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to have your company here on Gorge. If you're enjoying this Age of Empires 4 content, go ahead and hit that like button, as we are already out here on the map. Look at this. We have got ourselves a little bit of animation cancelling. Have a look at this. See how quick they move in between their shots. That's what it's all about. And you can see right now we've got Divine on the Rus, encouraging everyone to get out on the map and start killing that Gaia. It looks like Core might actually find some ahead of his opponent. There's a couple sneaky little spots, and indeed he does. Have a look how quickly he's going to take it down. Let's see. He's just going to rally the scout because he's uncontested at the moment, so that definitely makes some sense. On that north side, though, have a look at this. Core's going to be chasing Divine. He may actually run into the hunt. Oh, he didn't do it. Oh, you love to see it. Divine's going to be very happy with that. Core just a little bit off it. Now, let's talk about this matchup. English, Rus. Boy, oh boy, haven't we come far when it comes to this matchup. You know, I remember the good old days when... Do you remember when the Rus used to just spam horse archers all the time? It was like, it was the thing that you'd do. You'd go one base, you'd go professional scouts, and you'd just go horse archers. And the English used to love that because they had their longbows, and their longbows have got really long range, and they're just very capable of taking out all of those horse archers. So it's one of those things that has begun to change over time, and now we see things a little bit differently. Now, one of the things to note is that we've got Divine DFP as one of our players in this game. And if there's anything we know about Divine, it's that he loves with a capital L-O-V-E-S, loves to play greedy. We've seen him do this time and time again, and I suspect there will be no exception this game. I suspect we will see 2, probably even 3 town centers out of him. Keep in mind, he is on the Rus. The Rus have got a tremendous advantage when it comes to the early stages of the Feudal Age, even the early Castle Age, just because of the Kremlin. A single landmark that can change the entire shape of the game. We'll have to wait and see how he looks to play it, though. But I would suspect Kremlin probably going to be coming out over on this stone outcropping. Could also look to put it on the backside of the gold, but I suspect it's probably going to come down maybe here or here. Probably more towards this top side, I think, is the best spot for him. Let's see exactly where he goes with it. Age Up about to come through. You can see he's trying to get a little bit of extra gold. This should be all the gold he needs. We're right on board with him as he's got plenty of sheep still coming through. You can see he was struggling to get that Age Up. There we go. Should have it now in the queue. Villagers on the move. Where's he going to go? He's not going to go top side, is he? What's going on? What's going on? Divine? Divine? What? What's going on? I'm confused. Why? Okay. All right. I'm confused, but I'll listen. What have you got to sell me? Divine's gone for a Kremlin. There were 7 villagers on it. Now they're going to switch over to stone. Throwing it down. Remember, now he's up against the English. What do we know about the English? Longbows. Council Hall, early aggression, 7 tiles of range on those longbows. So we've got to be really careful about where we place our mining camps. We're going to make sure the Kremlin's got good coverage of that. And here, if the longbows were to come up and just do a little bit of shooting, he'd have to do a little bit of retreating. Fortunately, though, that's not going to be the case. Only 2 villagers on the council hall lead me to believe we're going to have a second TC coming in for core, and that's exactly what is going to happen here. So it's going to be a pretty passive opening here, but I'll say this now. We're only 4 minutes through this game. Something tells me, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a long one. If you haven't already, go get yourself something to drink. Maybe pause the video, come back and sit down, put your legs up. You know what? I'm going to put my legs up right now. I've already got myself something to drink. You guys know. I've been drinking a lot lately. I've been drinking a lot of water. I'm on a bit of a health kick. I don't know if you guys know that. Throw that out there. Losing weight at the moment. Trying my best. It's tough, you know. It's tough. And I'll be honest with you. I'll share a little bit of information. You know, as I said before, my wife, she doesn't like it when I overshare. I don't think this is oversharing. One of the reasons I married her is because she's an incredible cook. And not only is she an incredible cook, but she loves to cook. And that's a big thing, right? When you think about it, right? If you've got 2 people in a relationship, neither of them wants to cook, it can mean that you're going to be getting, you know, hey, do you feel like 2-minute noodles again? Oh, okay, that sounds pretty good to me. Or you're going to order out a lot if you can afford to do that. But fortunately for me, like, She was cooking dinner this morning. I'm not even kidding you. We had chicken for dinner. It was absolutely divine. Anyway, the problem is she loves to cook. I love to eat. You see where my issue is. So it's tough. It's tough. It's tough telling her, hey, honey, I love what you're doing, but can we please, please, no more amazing food. Anyway, let's get to it because we've got age ups that have just come through. Second town center about to be thrown down for core. 5 minutes 30? Not the earliest, not the earliest. Has he picked up another has he picked up an upgrade that I wasn't aware of? Why is his age up in town center so late here? I don't know what the deal is right now, but normally this TC should be down at 4:45. So I'd have to go back. It's a minute late right now. So we are well and truly behind where we should be, or we could be, but have a look at this. I think Core's going to be looking to take a different approach with the English, which is cool to see, because this isn't something that we typically see with the English. English is normally very much I'm going to stay in my base, I'm going to make some farms, and I'm going to have a good time. That's clearly not the case here. Core is looking to take advantage of the war. Divine is going to look to upset things as that second town center is scouted and expect to see villagers going to be running away. Come on, Divine. Hey, Divine. Shh. There we go. He worked it out. All right. Boar's coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, get him out. Welcome. What's the boar's name? I can't remember. Is it Barry the Boar? I think it might be Barry the Boar. Boar comes through. Oh, he doesn't have the leash range on it. Very well positioned there, Core. He knows exactly. Isn't that beautiful when you think about it, right? Like, Core knows that the town center going here means that the boar can be leashed to the town center, but that the villagers will be safe from the boar. That right there, that is skill. Let's check in on that north side, though. Divine, with the second TC being thrown down. Expect to see him moving into a third TC. I really would be surprised if he doesn't go for a third TC, but we'll have to wait and see how he looks to play it. Kremlin's up, starting to stack up those tickets for the militia. The first one is through. Longbow coming out as well. Villagers out on gold. Might have to think about moving into a wooden fortress on the gold mine, but don't you worry. He's got the stable that's going to be thrown down as well. It's going to be a double stable opening. Don't mind if I do, he says. But one thing to note is if he needs the gold on the backside, he's got plenty of it back here. And realistically, all you need, a wall across here, and well, that's pretty much it. I mean, you could probably go wall across here to here, stone down to the gold down to here, and then you're covered at the back. And that's exactly what we see on the opposite side. Have a look at this as the longbow begins to move through. Not going to be going into a horseman, going to be going into an early knight. Of course, a horseman is always a great option against the English nice and early. We'll have to start bringing these villagers back slowly one by one. But the knight does have another 12 seconds on it. There's the first villager, and beautifully routed here by Divine. He knows exactly what he needs to do. Got to call the militia on this longbow. Just looking to buy himself a couple more seconds. We'll be able to chase it away. So, interesting decision to call the militia there. I feel like he probably didn't need to do that. But, look, at the end of the day, different strokes for different folks. Let's check in on this wall. Have a look at this. Core doing the right thing and just walling the entire way across. I like this wall to the council hall, even though it doesn't actually work. But, you know, it's nice just to... It's nice for the aesthetics, right? Like the aesthetics. I feel like do you guys remember the early days of the internet? There was a guy called... I called him ZYZZ. But apparently people called him Ziz. And he was all about aesthetics. And I went back and looked at him. And I'm like, man, this guy... He was ahead of the time. It's like he was big. He was not just big, he was like very well toned. But I don't think he was natty. I'll be honest with you guys. Definitely not natty. Speaking of natty, oh my lord. I tell you what's funny. I love, there's this one content creator. I think he's pretty big on TikTok. I saw him on YouTube Shorts as well. And he's got like this really big butt. It's so funny, man. He put himself up on a truck, dude, and it's got like the wide load signs on it. He's just got a big butt. It's so funny. It's so stupid, but it's so funny, you know? Like, it's just one of those things that you always joke about, wide load. And then this guy's actually out here with this giant bum. I mean, what's another word that you could say? Giant tushy? I don't know. What do you Yanks say? I don't even know, man. But anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. It's an interesting, you know, it's an interesting life. It's interesting. We'll just cut it there. All right, let's check in on Core, see how he's doing. We'll ride on board with him for a little bit. Looks like the town center is just working overtime. He's thrown the mill down as well to get a little bit closer. Survival techniques has come through, which is a really key upgrade, considering not only does he have the deer, but he's also got that boar, which... Where is the boar? Is that the boar? That might be the boar. There's no way the boar got over to there. That's got to be a deer. That's the boar. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense that that's the boar. Anyway, yeah, he's having an absolute field day down here. A little bit of housing issues at the moment. 50 out of 50. Rushing up a couple houses in the corner. Town center holding it down. 2 racks coming through. Makes you want to think, or makes me think at least, that he might be thinking about staying in Feudal, just the double racks, but perhaps it's not the case. There's still only 2 spearmen out on the field. I suspect he's probably just looking to keep as few units as he can out and try and get to castle. Remember, there's quite a bit of a power spike when he gets to castle. He's got a number of options for landmarks. I definitely prefer the White Tower just because of the flexibility it gives you in the castle age, and even into the late game, it's really strong. Longbows coming through, teeing off. A little bit of a hole in the wall. Nothing a few villagers can't repair. Numbers starting to build here for Divine. No intent of going castle age just yet, but he's starting to wall up on that backside. Just a nice little defensive position. And now those outposts on the front will start to begin the siege. The siege dance, the dance back and forward. Archer's looking to tee off on those longbows. Now he does have to fall back, realizing, you know what? There is a fair bit of firepower right there. It's got a wide load stuck inside, that's for sure. Let's check in on that north side, and you can see even more production coming down. A 3rd archery range. Divine definitely not thinking at this stage about going castle age. Have a look at this siege engineering comes through. If there's any indication of when a player wants to go and stick around in that feudal age, it is siege engineering. King's Palace is going to be the throwdown here from core. Interesting decision to go into the King's Palace. I would have loved the White Tower, but it's tough. Where do you put the White Tower? Because your base is so... It's so expanded. I don't know if expanded's the right word, but you're not condensed, and that's what you want to be, right? Like, you want to be... Speaking of condensed, man. So my wife, she buys cans of condensed milk, and then she put them in, I want to say, the pressure cooker? And they came out like caramel top and fill. I think that's what it is. Or is it dulce de leche? I want to say it wrong. My God, dude. I think I put on about 4 kilos just from eating that. Anyway, speaking of kilos right now, Core's going to need a couple kilograms more of spearmen because things are not going well for him. He is getting absolutely obliterated as Divine manages this timing perfectly before the men-at-arms can get out and really pose too much of a threat for Core. Because remember, once those men-at-arms are castle age, they're going to have a lot more armor. But have a look at this. Beautiful diving underneath the town center all the way through. It's going to be triple stable in the back, and the villagers have been cornered. Focused down now by the archers. They slowly but steadily go down one by one. It's unfortunate to see. You hate to see it. You really do. He's lost 6 workers already so far. More knights now coming through. There's a really good position down here. Have a look at how many workers are down here. 22. Only 7 can sit inside that town center. Oh, no. Oh, no. If Divine goes down there, oh, you're just... Oh. This is just one of those things where it's like Core thought he could get away with it, but then he realized very quickly he couldn't. Oh, you hate to see it. It's just a few too many units. And now best bet is a gate, and that's exactly what he goes for here. Gate over on this wall, jump in onto the other side, and just pray that there aren't units on the way. Try and get another wall up over here. Gate back in on this side, and you can try and find your way back in if you've got a little bit of space. Knights from the castle age are now out for Core. Expect to see more units coming in on that top side. No, it's just going to be a little bit more archers heading towards the front. Knight under the TC. Plenty of villagers. They all jump inside. They've still got 11 out. Meanwhile, those knights are looking to even the tides of battle. 11 workers lost already by Core, but he brings the shotguns out. Keep in mind, he's got 3 town centers now, so Divine will need to match this if he wants to keep that villager lead going. Otherwise, slowly but steadily. Give him 13 minutes. Give him 5 minutes, and he'll be back up to parity. Now, meanwhile, the barracks will be going down. This battering ram will most certainly able to take it out here. It's taken a little bit of damage. Not a whole lot. Knight's now turning to it. I think he's just looking to commit here 1 for 1, because there's no way you're getting away from 3 knights. Not this early in the game. Let's check in as the high trade house. He's going to be coming up here for Divine. It's not the best, not the worst. I've seen worse high trade houses worse than that. Let's say that much. He's throwing down a market in a bit of a pinch here as well. What's the go with this? Is he looking to buy food so he can get gremlins out? Is that what it is? It could be. Could be the case. He's a little bit scared. You can see emergency walls are coming up in these positions. And there are the knights coming through. He's managed to get the wooden fortress down in time on this berry patch. Age up slowly but steadily coming through. Vils jump inside into the wooden fortress. A knight's going to be on the way. Age up comes through. Wonderfully timed. 44 trees. Not bad. I wonder how much How much that'll give him, we'll have to wait and see, though. Coming through, though, are those knights on the back. Remember, veterancy for Divine is going to be coming through very quickly. 17 seconds, not long to go. More knights on the south side. Core looking to return the favor. Needs to even up that villager count, or at least wants to even up that villager count. We're making our way towards that late game. 15 minutes through. Let's switch it over to income. Get a bit of an idea on where these two stand. About 2,000 income coming through for Core. On the other side, it looks like you're sitting about 2,400 for Divine. So slight advantage to Divine, as you'd expect for a man with slightly more villagers. Gremlins come out, looking to try and dish out some damage on those knights before they make a connection. Unfortunately, they will connect. Only one worker taken out so far. There's a couple of these guys stuck here. Really well done, almost well baited, I'm tempted to say, by these Kremlin Gremlins, also known as the militia. He's to be honest, he's thrown them away. I don't know if I like that. I kind of like the idea of just keeping them all stacked up and then you just have one big fight and you just call all the Gremlins to the front. I do like that a lot, playing as the Rus. But it's not going to be today. At least, it doesn't feel like it. Knights versus knights. The field is full of knights. Sounds like the first relic has been picked up. It's going to go in favor of Core. Quickly check and see where that relic is. I'm looking on the minimap. I can't really see. It's the central one. There we go. It's on the way back. It's always tough trying to spot that out, which one it will be. Now outnumbered completely. Look at this. Still manages to get one knight. He's going to try for a second one. Should be able to find it as well, but no, he's moved at the last second. Now plenty of knights coming in from Divine. Divine also bringing the militia with him. We are seeing the true power of the Rus in this early castle age. Keep in mind, he's still only on that 2 TC behind this. But he did do quite a bit of eco damage here. So how does he look to play it from here? Because I thought he'd be going in... I almost thought certainly he's going into a 3rd TC. Like, it's Divine DFP. 2 TCs is the standard Rus opening. 3 TCs is the Divine Rus opening. But he looked to play aggressive early in lieu of going for that 3rd TC. He managed to do a fair bit of damage. 12 villages is more than enough when it comes to damage. The question's going to be about whether Core can catch him, though. Because Divine is looking to push this issue, or at least will be. Does he move into spears, though? I mean, if you're running knights up against English knights, you're not going to have a good time. You want to know why? These knights are the best in the game. And I know there's going to be people jumping up and down saying, Drongo, what about royal knights? Well, you've got to consider something. This English knight has an extra 20% attack speed. And you just wait until the keep upgrade comes through. You got that extra little bit. Core now looking to dive in upon the knights of his opponent. Cleaning them out. Get on out of here. Go on, get. Wall towards this north side yet to really be considered by Core. Probably something he should be considering. 13 knights for Core. 14 knights for Core. 12 knights for Divine. He's got 4 in queue, though. Plenty of production back here as well. I need to think about throwing down more stables. Never mind, there's 2 more underneath the town center. So plenty of production. And now more knights going to be coming down to attack this palisade wall once again. The exact same spot he was attacking before. So he's already halfway through it. Will need to pull villagers if he wants to get these repairs done. Might even need to think about bringing in that relic for the Wallalol. Excuse me, Core. You are a man who is very bold. A very, very bold man. I don't like your chances, I'm going to be honest with you, but good luck. Run it down, son. Run it down. All right, Divine's broken through. No shift queue coming in from his units, though. So the crossbow's going to... the crossbow's going to alert him and be like, hey, Divine, I don't know if you know this, but your military units are idle. Let me give you an alert. Villagers jumping in the town center. Not enough space. Now moving out over onto the wood line. There's about 6 of them here. He's managed to take out quite a few already this game, and that number's just going to continue to add up as he's now taken out 16. Whew, things are going from bad to worse here for Core. Behind 8 workers over his opponent. Under his opponent. I guess under is probably the better way to say it. Villagers. No, don't do them like that. Don't do them like that. More knights continuing to roam through the base. A couple shots fired down. 2 relics at the moment in favor of Core. Yeah. We saw that one coming, didn't we? We saw that one coming, didn't we? That was a very, very bold attempt from Core. So where does Divine go from here? So they're obviously both going mass knights. Crossbows are starting to come out from Core, which I do like. The main thing, I think, is that when you go into the crossbows, you need to build up a critical mass. So you need to have enough crossbows to one-shot enemy knights. That's the big thing. Or at least in my mind, that's the big thing. And you've got to be really careful about making too many, because if you make too many, then you open yourself up to mangonels. So I think there's a really fine number of crossbows that you can actually have on the field. I don't actually know what that number is. I would imagine somewhere around like 14 to 16 crossbows. Let's do some math here. 21 damage up against 6 range armor. You're talking about 15 damage. So that's 150 damage off 10. Yeah, so about that. Somewhere in that region. Maybe 17, 18, somewhere around that. Huge amount of knights on the south side. Remember, you got Boyar's Fortitude that's now involved here on the side of Divine DFP. And when you're not getting the buff coming up from the English from their towers, all of a sudden, you have got much better knights than them. Now, one of the key features here is that if you just simply have more knights than what your opponent does, you have better knights than your opponent. Well, not really better knights. I mean, alive knights are better than dead knights, right? So technically, they're better than your opponents. Look at this. Keep in mind that there are religious factors in play here. Saint's Blessing. If he does make a strike here, he will look to buff up all of these units, give him a little bit of extra armor, I think it is. Yeah, what do we got? Extra armor and slightly more damage. So +1 armor and extra. So in total, an extra, like it's an exchange of 3 when you think about it that way, which makes a big difference when you are thinking about armor values. That's the big thing for me. Sacred Site now captured. It's 2 against 1 with Divine holding 2 of them. Still more raids inside the base of Core. Core, I'm going to ask you once and once only. Please wall your entire base. Don't leave a gap. Don't leave an opening and say, it's all right, I'll cover it. No, we know what happens when you try and cover it. You forget about it. Once again, Knights running through Divine. Just looking to cause havoc inside the base of the English now. Completely rampaging through that base. He's taken out 31 workers this game. 31. 31. Right now, Core could be on 125 workers. That's a lot, man. That is a lot of workers lost. That is a significant portion when you think about it. That's like, when you think about it, that's like 30% of your workers have just been murdered this game. You hate to see it. And he's really struggling trying to keep track of everything. And I think it just comes down to allowing your opponent to enter. Like, we've still got these same knights running in the base, just killing these villagers, killing the crossbows one by one. It feels out. No! 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 Core, not like this. Oh, you hate to see it. Now, remember, Core is a really good player, guys. So don't be typing in the comments, I'm Gold League, and I'd be better than Core in this situation. Core's a Conqueror 3 player. And he's not just a Conqueror 3 player, all right? So Conqueror 3 is like 1,600 rating. Core's like 1,900 rating. He's really good. This right here is just one of those 58 workers lost. Core, you've almost lost more workers than you've got. Oh. Here I was like trying to do the math, like, okay, if I've got Boyar's Fortitude, carry the 1 against the ×2 for the English attack speed bonus when I've got my keep upgrade. Meanwhile, Divine's just like, I've got more workers, economy goes brrr. And that's it. And that's the end of the meme. There's nothing more than that. You've got more workers, you make more units, you win the game. That's it. It's simple. You don't even need to do the equations. Oh, Divine. I can't believe it, man. You've been on an absolute bloodbath of a hunt this game. Gold's starting to come a little bit short on this backside, though. Core might have to start thinking about moving out. Speaking of moving out, where does he go next? I guess towards this north side, this western corner, perhaps. Looks like you won't be the only one, though. There are buildings, blueprints, placed down, ready to go. Sacred Site technically is approaching Sacred Victory. I don't know what the chances are of pulling off a Sacred Victory. Doesn't really feel that likely. But have a look at this. He's able to come in from behind. He should be able to clean up a lot of these. He needs to bring these crossbows in over towards the center. This is actually a really nice little fight for Core. Not going to get him back in the game 100%, but definitely, you know, free units are free units. And now should be able to one-shot the last cross, or the last, just a little bit short. You can see that Boyar's Fortitude. Oh, he got it. Lovely. You love to see it. You really do. I think the next big thing is now getting walls up. He needs to get walls up here. 100%. Wall here. Wall across here. Wall down to the stone. Stone across the front of the base to the gold. Gold down to the wood. And that's it. You probably spend 120 wood. And you save yourself so much trouble. And thank you, Core. Thank you. Look, I'll take this wall. We're going to include the deer as part of the wall by the looks of it. I'm not really for that kind of thing, I'll be honest. Not particularly effective using deer, venison as part of your wall, but we'll worry about that later because we got ourselves a little bit of mono on the front line. Crossbows on the back, crossbows for them both on the back. Horsemen now coming into play, and as we mentioned, you make too many crossbows and now you've exposed yourself to mangonels. 3 crossbows get hit. Second mangonel's already out. Look at this. Who wins? A couple of crossbows and a couple mangoes, or some dead crossbows? Oh, don't you love the sound of the mangonel stones hitting the floor? Oh man, that bass that it produces. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, 3 dude, where do you pull these mangonels from? Jeez Louise, Divine. Somebody call a magician. I need an explainer. Where did these mangonels come? High armory already? I guess he has had the villager lead for like all of this game. He's only killed 58 workers so far, guys. Keep in mind, despite Kor's incredible counterattack after he went to Castle Age, there's only 1 worker kill. That's it. That's it. Nothing more. Just 1. Now Divine gonna wall up the middle of the map. Upon reaching Imperial Age, you know what's gonna happen. There's gonna be 2 key techs that are gonna be coming through. Number 1. This bad boy right here. Roller shutter triggers. Number 2. Banded arms. Down here. For the high armory. And then, of course, you're going to see your elite upgrades. Probably like elite crossbow, elite horseman. Look at the gold he's got. Look at the gold he's got. Oh, my lord. That's a huge amount of gold in the bank right now. Knights looking to try and flank around the top side. Spearmen together with men-at-arms looking to breach upon the middle. Mango's shots come out. There's plenty of them as well. Looking to collapse into the center. The sacred site is being held. Slowly and steadily, big shot off to the back line. Misses a couple, maybe hit a few men-at-arms by the looks of it. Spears working together with those men-at-arms. A little bit of a party on the dance floor. Nobody invited me, though. Mango rains down like, I was going to say vodka, like champagne upon that dance floor. Mango's big shots into the bleachers. Pretty successful. I think he's taken out about 5 there. And now the militia get called to help him when he needs it most. Right when that push was coming to shove, he says the militia will come to the fore. The militia will save the day, and the militia will win the game for Divine DFP. Ladies and gentlemen, go and check him out. I'll leave links in the description of where you can catch them live. An incredible game there coming through from Divine. A beautiful hold. I don't even think he reached Imperial in the end. Doesn't even matter. Beautiful game from him. Incredible raids. Fantastic. I'll catch you guys in the next one.